Yeah, so my video got cut, so this part two. So E means electrons, right? Dealing with the user, right? This also stands for the symbol E is a mathematical constant approximately equal to 2.718288183. Prism switches to scientific notations when the values are very large or very small. For example, 2.3 E -5 means 2.3 times 10 to the minus fifth power, or 0.000023. 23 deals with vanadium. What element is that? Yep, vanadium, right? So this is what they're using in the clouds now, right? Vanadium, vanadium, barium, right? And what does this do? Does it not look like the red skies? Alright, the chemical element vanadium is classified as a transition metal. It's not classified as an alkaline metal. Alkaline metals are natural metals that's supposed to be in the air, not transition metals, right? Transition metals is using for them trying to transition some goddamn energy that they can't fucking deal with. So, because it's a transition going on. So, to go against the alkaline metals in the air, which is what deals with hydrogen, helium, and really all the five natural uh, resource gases. So for the ones that deals with it naturally, like in an alkaline way, because just like your body, this is a body that we're living in, and this body that we're living in supposed to be alkaline, not uh, ironized from the oxidization of interrupting cycles, right? So that being said, they increased the increment of vanadium with, because the electrons is coming from the plasma. So when the plasma actually hits, it's coming from big UVs. But the thing is, the UV is now starting to close in on the fourth part of the grid, which is more of the U.S., North America, North Atlantis, right? Because it's been hitting south. That's why they've been getting all them floods and dealing with shit already that's been going on in China and Australia and places like that, even Russia, like in Europe. They all been dealing with it. When the M flare comes repeatedly with these certain type of clouds, it actually creates a shitload of snow, which can get so cold. It's like Arctic to the point it's shutting down um, machinery, shutting down animals, because pretty much they fucked up and trying to pretty much freeze what they did so it can actually continue a science experiment or give them time to Neuralink it. So, because that's what E also stands for, the electron, but E negative means see how the same thing popped up in the example? But E negative means in chemistry electron because it's dealing with the E cell. So what E cells? E cells, chemistry. The cell potential E cells is measure of potential difference between two half cells in an electrochemical cell, which reproduces into the third one. The potential difference is caused by the ability of the electrons to flow from one half to the other. This kind of ties into the other video I met when it was dealing with subciosis that ties to the X gene, because really they're trying to tie it to your RNA, your messenger, which is dealing with your X. Okay, because the electrolytic cell, your lytic cells deal with your lytic cells deals with your like I'll show you. But okay, the electrolytic cells convert electrical energy into chemical energy, which is your carbon covalent bonds, your AB bonds, right? So when they inserted heterolysis, meaning animal cells with to mix with the blood, the carbon monoxide in the clouds actually helps that ionics get the charge from the animal cells to kind of mutate into a higher, to mutate into another mutation gradually. So once the clouds clear up, the sun hits, now you're at a higher UV out of nowhere. It's hot as fuck. Now whatever that's in that cell membrane dealing, because your mucus is holding it in when you're not supposed to be having it. You're supposed to have been fasting because it's not the way of eating on this planet. You're not an animal to be eating that way. So that's why you're congested, right? Because the whole thing is your body is a reflection of the universe. So meaning your cells have a cycle too, and you're going along with this cycle. But if you're going against this cycle, then you're going to be a negative variant. You're not going to like the shit that happens, because while all these atoms are getting charged in your air, your cells, your atoms are supposed to be getting charged. But when something's not getting charged, it makes an electrical shortage, which can actually fry out your brain, right? And if that fries out your brain, then you fry out yourself, right? Which will make a spontaneous combustion, because the electrolytic cells, your carbon and hydrogen cells, which are the AB cells, an electrolytic cell converts electrical energy into chemical energy. And this cell redox reactions is not spontaneous. And electrical energy requires to initiate the reaction 3, which is the light. Because once Well, the neuron, right? So that how do you find E in chemistry? E cells by using the equation EO cell equals EO red minus EO oxide. 23.6 vanadium carbon oxide. The E cell is the standard state cell potential, meaning the potential energy inside of it, and it gets turned and it gets shown as kinetic, which is electricity, meaning the condition of 1 m for solutes or 1 bar of gases is met. E cell is the cell potential at a non-standard state condition. All right, so E is an element Einsteinium. What the hell? Atomic number 99. Why does E have all these? Is the element E belongs to the third period? B. B. The element E belongs to the third period. D. The element E has a valence of +6 or -2. Select the element having 1 electron in the outermost shell. That sounds like carbon and hydrogen. Because hydrogen has it oxidized at 0.2, and carbon is just carbon. Sub-period. So if third period, it's like third house, which deals with E and epsilon, because the epsilon is the light that connects at a tilt from Earth, Helios, Sirius to a machine, to Sun, the backside, Munu, to Saturn. EC. Alright, so it's EC element. So it's probably about to show something. EU. Symbolic notation of matter in which electrons of its atoms are distributed over different atomic orbitals. So EC stands for the electron configuration. When writing an electron configuration, first write the energy level, the period, then the subshell, pretty much its realms. The different realms deals with different electrons. Alright, so the element E belongs to the third period. And the element E has a valence of CEH, gamma, light, helium, because gamma light, helium. Yeah, so gamma light helium deals with carbon, hydrogen, and ether. Because the helium actually helps the clouds generate carbon monoxide. Because when it falls in a different state, it gets cold. Because it becomes denser at a liquid state in a solid. As it rises, though, in the state of matter, it becomes less dense, which means more circulation for the atoms to move around them. But there's something else with this one. Einsteinium. Never heard of that. Atomic number Z. The seventh transuranium. Because uranium and vanadium is definitely suspect. Atomic mass number 252, which still equals 9. Has a lot of little sacred going on. I see 2 times 8. Oh, the 2 and the 8, really the 18 is kind of like 8 in the second interval, but really it's like 9. So you say 2 times 8, 18, 2 times 18. Oh no. Oh yeah. No. 8, 10, 14, 29, 8. So 2, 8, 9, 1, 2, 8, 2. So 9, 9, 9, 5, 2. What's the ratio? 9, 5, 2. Einsteinium has no uses outside of research. Einsteinium has known a biological role has no known biological role. It is toxic due to radioactivity. Einsteinium can be obtained in milligrams quantity from neuron bombardment of plutonium in nuclear reactors. So how is it not known as a biological role, but it's known in nuclear reactors? Fucking liars. Alright, so can Einstein be found naturally? Einsteinium Einsteinium is a synthetic element and is not found naturally. It is produced in nuclear reactors and many minuscule amounts of neutron bombardment of plutonium. Einsteinium is highly radioactive because there is no stable version of what to do. There is no stable versions that do not fall apart within a few years. It is not found in nature. It can be produced in a few specialized nuclear reactors, but only in immense amount. It was first produced by intense neutron irradiation of uranium 238 during the denotation of nuclear weapons, or the denotation of new energy, dealing with Uranus. Uranus deals with January. It's anus, doorway, gateway. Polonium is so radioactive it glows blue, which is caused by excitation of gas particles by radiation of the sun. Another atomic number Z, which deals with zetia, right? All of these zetias, they get, or medicines, they deal with shit like this. That deals with sigmas, because sigmas is an energy from the sun, right? Because it is a symbolism of a CME, it's a shot, right? So look. Polonium is an alpha emitter, right? Alpha emitter. Omi, if you look up Omi and Kron, it talks about the emitters, right? You have to look it up separately. The meaning of Omi and then the meaning of Kron. And then Omi has the same meaning as Zeno, and which is Ayan and Zayin, because Ayan is just the suffix for the word Zayin, which represents the number 7. And Bot actually is the same definition of Kron, which ties back to Chronos, and Zeno ties back to Zeus and the Zen. But the pol yeah, so the polonium is an alpha emitter, right? Hence is used in anti-static devices and for research purposes. So anti-static is anti-electrons devices and for research purposes. It it is used in forms of thin film or stainless steel. This as an alpha particle source. It is used to eliminate static electricity process. It is used to eliminate static electricity produced during the processes such as rolling paper, wire, and sheet metal. So it eliminates the pretty much it eliminates the light that the atoms in the air is attached to because the air is your blood, right? It's tied to your bloodline, the air that you breathe. So looking at it that way, the clouds block the X-rays that's trying to get down to you. Like if you try to point up a laser, like at the sky, when it's like that, it's like a wall blocking it. And on the other side of the clouds, you see bright ass stars and the moon that looks like it's starting to get its luminosity back. Because as the energy, the UV rises, the land that it's connected to is actually rising. Reason why they can't hide no more because everything's getting heat up and they're just gonna have to come up. That's where they got that's where they setting up shop. And that's also where shop is being destroyed. But the anti-static devices and for research purposes, that's dealing with your E cells. And then your E cells deals with your T cells because you're an extraterrestrial being. You have E cells and T cells, right? I know I was grounding. So they got a little cloudy over here. Don't bother me. I put in the work last year. It's too late. Anti-static device. ESD can damage electrical components such as computer hard drives and even ignite flammable liquids and gas. An ionizing bar, sometimes referred to static bar, is a type of industrial equipment used for removing static electricity from a production line. The bar works by emitting an ionized corona onto the products below it. If then a product on the line has a positive or negative static charge as it passes through the ionized particle, aura, which is like that around me, created by the bar, it will attract the corresponding charged positive or negative ions and become electrically neutral because of the protons from CERN. Because it's Niga or Naga's energy coming down, which is negative, energy coming down. There's been enough protons, it needs more electrons to get neurons, to spark the neurons in the third orbit to create more orbits. So the ESD is used electronic industry when handling electronic devices which can be damaged by ESD, and also sometimes by people working around explosive to prevent electric sparks which could set off an explosion. It consists of elastic band or fabric with fine conductive fibers woven into it, attached to a wire with a clip on the end to connect to the ground conductor. That whole little thing right there is a replica of you. But let's see what it's used for in science. Chemistry. Don't like we're dealing with an ionizing bar. Anti-static tools are used to prevent the undesirable effects of static electricity caused by mechanical friction. There's mechanical friction going on with the sun, and it's causing electricity, which makes your ether rise, because it's rise of the ethers. An anti-static agent is a compound used for treatment of materials or their surfaces in order to reduce or eliminate buildup of static electricity. Static charge may be generated by triboelectric effect. Key word is tri. Other word is triboel. Tribo, dealing with the tree cells, T cells, and the electrons of the cells, and the O of it, because it's a tribe thing. The 12 tribes within you. Affected by a non-contact process using high voltage source. So look, pathological blood destruction was the fission for the lytic interactions within 1 and 2 cells, which is the A and B cell. Nosy. The A and B cells, the interaction, which makes a mechanical friction, which creates the electrostatic charge. But you get it from heat and high UV. It's just the shot of it, or medical words, lysis. Most of that shit deals was to eliminate your tetracovalent bonds, which is your carbon and your hydrogen link, with an animal T cell, which mutates into extra as the UV increases. So now that T cell, the animal, is pretty much taking over, which is killing out your cells, which is pathological blood destruction, which disconnects you from your solar connection. Because when red blood cells start to die, it dies from the spleen. If you line your spleen to your organ, it deals with, spiritually, it deals with your solar connection or your solar power or the static electricity, which solar would jump starts the heart, your soul, right? Because, like I said, those are, it's twin energies that make, is twin suns, it's twin organs, right? All dealing with um all things dealing with your first eye or your crown. So what is that in pathology? Because we need to move on to the next letter. Because ESD is epsilon sigma from UV. So epsilon is already light at the tilt that connects from higher to higher stars on the chart. But the S is the sigma, which is dealing with your cells. And the D represents the light and the heat from the friction. So to interrupt all three of those, you would have to reflect light, absorb light, and change the way the frequency falls. Because that would change the way the frequency will rise. Because if the cold crystals are being absorbed by Chi, then it's waiting for the sun to hit it to remove it. Because UVC is a germ detoxifier, but they be keeping it, trying to keep it cloaked up so much that it can't detoxify shit. The only thing it does is make the clouds fall, and now it looks like fucking China. So if you see too much of this in a spot that you don't usually see it around, then that means that they're about to move in on us real soon. And I give it by December 10th. Really, it might be the 8th. Yeah, it might be the 8th. 2 minutes before midnight. It's like Friday and Saturday. 2 minutes before midnight. It's the sun. Midnight's like the twilight moon, a lit backside of the sun. Twi. What does twi mean? A con. Alkaline. A member of Akan speaking people of Ghana, another term for Akan, the language, relating to Twi or their language. The light is our language. TFI is an acronym for Training Within Industry. It was created by the United States Department of War, running from 1940 to 1945 within the War Manpower Commission. Six Sigma definition. No, this whole video, I'm just learning. If you want to learn with me, that's cool. All right, so it was created by United States Department of War, running from 1940 to 1945 within the War Manpower Commission. Draconian Commission. The purpose has helped war-related industries whose personnels were being drafted into the U.S. Army. At the same time, the War Department was ramping up additional orders. The shortage of trained and skilled personnel at precisely the time they were most needed, most would impose a hardship on those industries, and that only improved the methods of job trainings would be able to handle this challenge. It was later incorporated into Japan after World War II, led by Lowell Mellon from TWI Incorporated, who had been a TWI instructor in the United States during the war. It was later popularized in Toyota production system with the help of Eisayo Kato. Job instruction, JI, a method for trainers, supervisors, experienced workers to train inexperienced workers faster. Blah, 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 blah. Wanta Fanta, don't you wanta? So Fanta or Fanta is one of the two main dialects dealing with Kwai language spoken by the Akan, the Akon, or the Akun, or the Akin, same shit. There are two main dialects, Ashanti and Fanta. Fante. So Ashanti is a language. They have three distinct names for God, and these show their understanding of who God is. Like other traditional West African religions, Akan religion is polytheistic, while Anyam is considered supreme. There are many minor deities in Abosom, who exercise powers over believers but are turned subordinate by enemy. In addition to their belief in Supreme Being, Nyame, Mother Earth, Asaya, Asaya, Sasaya, and hosts of intermediate deities, Abosun, and Akan believed in the omnipresence of Nisi Mafo, made evidence by daily acts of pouring of libation, throwing on the ground of the first morsel of food, as well as periodic. The name Ashanti has Hebrew origins, the Ti at the end meaning race of people, and Ashan meaning smoke. An unknown site in the domain of Judah, Joshua 15:42, possessed by Simeon, Joshua 19:7, and mentioned among the priest cities of First Chronicles. Okay, the Ashanti religion is a mixture of spiritual and supernatural powers. They believe in plants, animals, and trees have souls. They also believe in fairies, witches, and forest monsters. There are a variety of religious beliefs involving ancestors, higher gods, and Nyame, the supreme being of Ashanti. Today, Ashanti Kingdom survives as a constitutionally protected sub-national traditional state union with the Republic of Ghana. The current king of the Ashanti Kingdom is Otufuese Tutu. Yeah, Ashanti. I don't know how to say all that. Definition of Shan equals smoke. A city in the lowland of Judah, later mentioned as belonging to Simeon. Akan, son of Ezer, one of the dukes or chieftains of Horites and descendant of Seir. He is called Jakan in Chronicles 142. Indicates this entry was also found in the Nave's Topical Bible. As they prospered, Ashanti culture flourished. They became famous for gold and brass craftsmanship, wood carving, furniture, and brightly colored woven clothes called kente. Ashanti is said to get its power from the golden stool, which is the most important symbol of their culture. The golden stool born on a Friday is the royal and divine throne of kings of the Ashanti people and the ultimate power of the Ashanti, according to the legend of Oko Anokai, Anukai, stands for Anukai, Anukai, Anokai, Oko Umfo. Mofo is what I called a reptilian when I saw him. High priest and one of the two chief founders of Asante Confederacy, caused the tool to descend from the sky and land on the lap of the first Asante king, Ose Tutu. I see Tutu. Such seats were traditionally symbolic of chieftains' leadership, but the golden stool is believed to house the spirit of Asante nation, living, dead, and yet to be born. Each stool is made from a single block of wood of the Alstonia Une. The range extending East Ethiopia, the Tanzania's common name, and the English timber trade is cheese wood because of the yellowish pattern wood or stool wood. The Ashanti Empire golden stool was common name in the French timber trade is Emian, derived from vernacular of the Ivory Coast. Okay, so this tree, they was saying a little bit of stuff in Africa, but really they was talking about what issues with Americans, tropical Americans. I mean, tropical black people are pretty much Asian, but we the same race, for real, for real. But anyways, Australia consists of about 40 to 60 species according to different authors, native to tropical and subtropical African, Central America, Southeast Asia, Polynesia, Australia, with most of the species in the Malaysian region. which sounds about us, because we were everywhere. Um, hmm. So right here, just a little remedy. You got any Alstemia trees around you? It's good for you. Hmm. We don't got all the way off topic, but I think this goes next. So now this got me on War of the Golden Stool. Sounds like the one who started this shit. So they have to go to Haiti.